Hello everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. Today we are starting with an important topic of number system, which is prime numbers. Recently we had few questions based on this, so it is better we start with the concepts first और उसके बाद we do certain questions. कुछ अच्छे questions हमने इस पे रखे हैं which are all most expected in your upcoming CSAT examination. With this, I'll also try to give you a brief planner regarding our current courses. So currently we are running few courses which is available for anyone who's a beginner. If you wish to start now, yes, you can do it. But please get in touch. We'll connect over call, discuss your strategy, your strength, and then we'll decide. Or if you are someone who has been preparing for quite some time, you just need the practice sheets and the full length test, and you just need to be in touch with the current trend. तो आप भी अभी ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. So it is available. The courses are live. आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. In order to join the courses, you can get in touch on this number. Now, what do we offer? We offer video lectures, which is comprised till 90 to 100 hours, the content part, which takes into consideration LR, क्वांटिटिव एप्टीट्यूड एज वेल एज रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन. ये सारी चीज़ें हम कवर कर रहे हैं. प्लस वी प्रोवाइड प्रैक्टिस शीट विच इज़ टॉपिक वाइज बेस्ड ऑन करंट ट्रेंड, most expected questions. Then you have a separate PYQ sheet with video solution. This is also topic wise given. Then the most important part, which is 10 full length test, purely exam pattern based. Then we also provide regular practice sessions, doubt sessions, mentorship plan for anyone who's starting now, and then memory sheet and formula sheet to be in the game. These are our offerings. If you have any query, you want to ask something, you want to clear something, please reach out to me on this number. Now starting with, based on the number of factors in any given number. एक नंबर के कितने फैक्टर्स हो सकते हैं? We classify the number of factors as one factor, exactly two factors, and any number having more than two factors. This could be 3 factor, 4 factor, or even 100 factors of any number. These are classified as unity, prime numbers, and composite numbers. Exactly one factor is unity, 1. और कुछ भी नहीं. Unity is other way of saying 1. Prime numbers are the only numbers having exactly two factors. These factors are 1 and the number itself. Now, any number having more than two factors are known as composite numbers. The first composite number is 4 and then 6, 8, 9, 10 and so on. ये simple differentiation है between the various varieties of numbers based on number of factors present. Now, if you look at this chart, it consists of numbers from 1 to 100. For our UPSC CSAT preparation, we need to know the prime numbers up to 100. That's it. So in one go, if I count all of this, up to 50, I have 15 prime numbers. 51 to 100, I have another 10. So a total of 25 prime numbers between 1 to 100. 2 is the only even prime number. इसके बाद और कोई भी even prime number नहीं होगा. So which is the smallest prime number? That is 2. Which is the only even prime number? That is also 2. Any prime number other than 2 is always an odd prime number. जिन prime numbers पे हमें काम करना चाहिए वो ये सारे हैं. Most of the questions would be based on the concepts or any sort of calculation in these prime numbers. तो इनको आप हमेशा ध्यान में रखो कि what are the prime numbers. Also, if a number is prime, it will only have two factors, 1 and the number itself. तो क्या कोई भी इवन नंबर प्राइम नंबर हो सकता है? नहीं हो सकता. तो जितने 2 के मल्टीपल्स हैं अदर देन दिस, I'll rule this out straightforward. All of this will be ruled out. जितने 5 के मल्टीपल्स हैं वो भी रूल्ड आउट हो जाएंगे. 5 के मल्टीपल्स आर बेसिकली 15, 25, 30. These are all ruled out. Right? Then we keep on ruling out all the multiples of 3. इस तरीके से. But in general, you get the idea कि कोई भी इवन नंबर है अदर देन 2 वो प्राइम नंबर नहीं हो सकता. So this way we get our various prime numbers. This is one way of looking at these numbers. Now, the only consecutive 3 odd numbers which are prime, all being prime, all prime, is 3, 5 and 7. तो इनको ध्यान में रखना. ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ ऐसे कॉन्जिक्यूटिव ऑड नंबर्स हैं जो सारे के सारे प्राइम हैं. ऑल आर प्राइम नंबर्स. नेक्स्ट अप वी हैव how many prime numbers? 25. Now if you look at prime numbers from 5 onwards, leave these two. 5 onwards, any of the prime numbers, they are always in the form of 6n plus minus 1. What is n here? n is a natural number. जैसे अगर n की वैल्यू 1 है तो दिस वुड बी 6 प्लस 1 और 6 माइनस 1. दिस इज 5 and this is 7. Both of them are prime. Next, 6 into 2, because n is 2. So 6 into 2 is 12. 12 plus 1, 12 minus 1. 13 and 11. 6 into 3, 18 plus 1, 19. 18 minus 1, 17. Next, 6 into 4, 24 plus 1, 25. 24 minus 1 is 23. अब यहाँ पे आपको ध्यान देना है. देखो 25 is not a prime number. तो it means to say that any number of the form 6n plus minus 1 is prime? No. But all the prime numbers of the form other than 5 or 5 onwards are always in this format. ये सारे 6 के मल्टीपल्स पे -1 पे हैं या +1 पे हैं. देखो 6 का ये मल्टीपल है -1 +1. 6 का ये मल्टीपल है +1 -1. 6 का ये मल्टीपल है, माइनस करोगे नहीं होगा बट प्लस करोगे होगा. तो ऑल नंबर्स ऑफ दिस फॉर्मेट इज प्राइम? नो, बट ऑल प्राइम नंबर्स आर ऑफ दिस फॉर्मेट. सो एनी नंबर विच इज इन दिस फॉर्मेट कैन बी अ प्राइम नंबर. ठीक है, क्लैरिटी है. नाउ मूविंग अहेड. The product of first n prime numbers plus 1 is also a prime number. Product of first n prime numbers plus 1 is also a prime number. What does it say? n here is a natural number going from 1 to 5. तो अगर मैं पहले प्राइम नंबर की बात करूँ 2 plus 1 is 3, प्राइम नंबर है. प्रोडक्ट ऑफ फर्स्ट 2 प्राइम नंबर्स 2 into 3 6, 6 plus 1 7, ये भी है. 2 into 3 into 5 which is 30. 30 plus 1 is also prime. 2 into 10 into 5 into 7 plus 1 is 210 plus 1. This is also prime. 2 into 3 into 5 into 7 into 11 is 2310 plus 1 is also prime. But when we do 6 prime numbers ka product and then add 1, this is not prime, and any number from here onwards is not a prime number. So we keep into consideration that product of first n prime numbers plus 1 will be a prime number, but we have to limit ourselves till 5. यहाँ तक ये सारे प्रोडक्ट, आप इसको ऐसे भी देख सकते हो. प्रोडक्ट ऑफ फर्स्ट n नेचुरल नंबर्स प्लस 1 will also be a prime number, but this n has to be from 1 to 5. ये मैं शॉर्टकट्स क्यों करवा रहा हूँ? देखो इस पे बेस्ड previously they have asked question in various other examinations, so you can possibly expect a question in your upcoming examination. ये कुछ शॉर्टकट्स अगर ध्यान में रहते हैं तो हमारे लिए चीज़ें आसान हो जाती हैं टू रूल आउट फ्यू स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड प्रॉब्लम्स. मूविंग अहेड. The sum of consecutive prime numbers is also another prime number, but this is not true for every prime number. कुछ स्पेशल नंबर्स के साथ ही ऐसा होगा. उन नंबर्स को ध्यान में रखते हैं. जैसे 2 plus 3 will give me 5, which is a prime number. But what about 2 plus 3 plus 5? This is 10. This is not a prime number. So this is not true for every case. But then there are certain cases which we can memorize or at least have a rough idea You start with 2, you take 2 terms. You start with 2, you take first 4 terms. You start with 2, you take 6 terms. ये सारे प्राइम हैं. इसके बाद if I go ahead and do another 2, this is not a prime. This is one scenario that you can keep into consideration. इससे बस इसका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है कि आप इन चीज़ों से ज़रा familiar हो जाओ. एग्जाम में you can use certain values and check whatever is asked. But in order to do that and to recall it in exam, at least you should be familiar with the concept. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि I'm expecting you to memorize all of this. No, that is not my point. And that is not something that you should be doing. Don't memorize. Just develop a familiarity. Okay. Consecutively, if you add few numbers, they give you a prime. Also, you start with 7. Take 3 numbers. 7, 11 and 13 and all of these are prime. Add करो 31 आएगा. Which is the next prime number after 13? 17. So 17 से 3 terms you take. This is also 59, which is a prime number. Which is the next prime number after 23? 29. So do 3 terms addition, it is also a prime number. The next prime number after 37 is 41. Next 3 terms, you get a prime number. After 47, the next prime number is 53. Add the next 2 terms, you would be getting a prime number. तो ये कुछ चीज़ें, ये वाला हमारे लिए काम का है, ये भी काम का है. ये ध्यान रखना कि 7 से स्टार्ट होता है. नेक्स्ट स्पेशल केस क्या है? अप टू 5 टर्म्स स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 5. और बड़ा सिंपल है. 5 से स्टार्ट करो. 5, 7, 11, 13, 17 कॉन्जिक्यूटिवली एड द फर्स्ट 5 प्राइम्स फ्रॉम 5 ऑनवर्ड्स. इट इज़ 53 विच इज़ अ प्राइम. 5 हटा दो. 7 से स्टार्ट करो सीरीज को. एक एक्स्ट्रा ऐड कर दो 19. दिस इज ऑल्सो प्राइम. 5, 7 हटा दो. 11, 13, 17 plus 19 and 23. This is also prime. Rule out these 4. Start with 17 or let's say start with 13. ये सारे भी प्राइम्स हैं. इसके बाद जो कि बहुत बड़ा नंबर हो जाएगा, उसमें 6 टर्म्स होंगे. तो डिस्कस करने को बहुत सारी चीज़ें, बट आप एक आइडिया लगा लो बस कि ओके दीज आर सर्टेन वैल्यूज. इट इज़ अनदर ऑब्जर्वेशन दैट if you add 3 to multiples of 2 and certain multiples of 2, जैसे 1, 5, 13, 29, you would be getting a prime number. याद करना नहीं है, मैं पहले भी बता रहा हूँ. डोंट गेट वरीड कि यार बहुत ज़्यादा कंटेंट हो रहा है. नो, जस्ट डेवलप अ फेमिलरिटी, दैट्स इट. इनको एक बार ही ध्यान में रख सकते हो, इसको ध्यान में रख सकते हो, इसको ध्यान में रख सकते हो. स्टार्ट बस याद कर लो कि 2 + 3, उसके बाद 2 टर्म्स पे जाना है, नेक्स्ट 2 टर्म्स पे जाना है, तो प्राइम होगा. 7 से स्टार्ट करो 3 टर्म्स, फिर इसके बाद वाले टर्म से स्टार्ट करना है 3 टर्म्स, इसके बाद वाले टर्म से स्टार्ट करना है 3 टर्म्स. सो 7 इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. देन 5 इज इम्पॉर्टेंट अप टू 5 टर्म्स. रूल दिस आउट. नेक्स्ट से स्टार्ट करो अगेन 5 टर्म्स. सो स्टार्टिंग इज ऑलवेज इम्पॉर्टेंट. उनको ध्यान में रख पाओ तो ये पूरा सीक्वेंस यू वुड बी एबल टू रिकॉल. सो दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. मूविंग अहेड. Co-prime numbers, very important. In divisibility rule, we need the concept of co-prime numbers. HCF LCM based question, we need the concept of co-prime numbers. और भी बहुत सारे नंबर सिस्टम बेस्ड क्वेश्चन पे we need the concept of co-prime or relatively prime numbers. Now, co-primes are always 2 or more numbers. You need at least 2 numbers to compare whether these are co-prime or not. Now, when can you say a set of numbers being co-prime to one another? Only if their HCF is 1. Relatively prime is same thing. क्या डिफरेंस है बेसिकली? इफ यू टॉक अबाउट डिफरेंस कि को प्राइम बोलो रिलेटिवली प्राइम बोलो एक ही है. डिफरेंस क्या है? को प्राइम इज लिमिटेड टू ओनली प्राइम नंबर्स. एनी सेट ऑफ प्राइम नंबर्स आर ऑलवेज को प्राइम टू वन अनदर. कोई दो को प्राइम नंबर्स के बीच में कुछ भी कॉमन आएगा क्या? नथिंग वुड बी कॉमन. सो दीज आर को प्राइम. Relatively prime is if you take a number, let's say a composite number, maybe 4. When we compare it with a prime number 3, so 4 and 3, they have their highest common factor as 1. So these are relatively prime. Clear? Hai? The basic difference. Now, we'll do varieties here. There are a certain set of values, no matter what you put, they will always be co-prime. वो क्या है? If you take any 2 prime numbers, close your eyes, put any prime numbers. always they would be co-prime to one another. It means their HCF would be 1 or they won't be having any common factor. Same goes for 1 and any number. You write 1 and any number. 1 comma 1000. 1000 has so many factors. 1 के factor क्या है? Just 1. What would be the common factor between these two? Only 1. So co-prime numbers are said to be having only one common factor. So their HCF is 1. Now, any set of consecutive natural numbers, n and n plus 1 are consecutive natural number 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 100, 101. These are all co-prime. Odd numbers, n, n plus 2. Odd numbers के बीच में 2 का गैप होता है. Any alternate odd numbers are at a gap of, or consecutive odd numbers are at a gap of 2. Even numbers are also at a gap of 2. But क्या दो even numbers, let's say 4 and 6, can these two be co-prime? No. 4 के फैक्टर हैं 1, 2, 4. 6 का फैक्टर है 1, 2, 3, 6. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. HCF 2. HCF 2, it means it is not a co-prime pair for even numbers. But for odd numbers, n and n plus 2, where n is odd, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 101, 103, these are always co-prime. Or even 3 sets of numbers, n, n plus 2, n plus 4, where these are odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 5, 7, 9, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27. These are all co-prime to one another or relatively prime to one another. So, here, when we use any of these sets, I can randomly put any value. They will always be co-prime. But if I'm looking at a set of prime and composite numbers, I'll have to be careful while picking the data. So if I pick the prime number as 2, I cannot pick any other even number. Composite number जैसे 4 या 8 या 12, क्या मैं pick कर सकता हूँ? नहीं. If I do that, HCF would be 2. And therefore, these are not a set of co-prime numbers. But with 2, I can pick 9. So 2 and 9 are co-prime. Clear hai? Same goes for if can I pick 2 sets of composite numbers to be co-prime? Yes. मैं 4, 6 नहीं कर सकता हूँ. But I can definitely pick 4 and 9. I cannot pick 12 and 15, but I can pick 12 and 25. What are the factors of 12? The factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. The factors of 25 is 5, 1, 5 and 25. What is the common factor between these two? 1. So these are a set of co-prime numbers. Now, twin prime numbers. What are twin prime numbers? Simply with a gap of 2. दो prime numbers के बीच में pair of prime numbers having a gap of 2 and exactly 2. 3, 5 is twin prime. 2, 3 is not twin prime. 7, 11 is not twin prime, gap of 4. 5, 7 is, 5, 11 is not. 11, 13, yes, gap of 2. 11, 17, gap of 6, no. 17, 19, yes, gap of 2. 13, 17, gap of 4, no. 41, 43, yes. 43, 47, no. Twin prime is exactly gap of 2. Your definitions, these are important. And on the easier end. Now, palindromic primes. What are palindrome numbers? Palindrome numbers are if you take the reverse of any number and that should be equal to the number. For example, 22 or 202 or 131. If you take the reverse, it is 131. Right? Now, palindromic primes, all the single digit prime numbers, reverse करने पे भी वो prime है. 11 reverse करने पे it is 11 prime number. 101 is exactly 101 and this is also a prime. Upon reversing, it should be the same. The reverse of a number should be same as the number. These are palindrome numbers. Now, reverse of a prime number is another prime number. The number changes, but it is also a prime number. So this will have 3 values. 2 digit numbers की बात करूँ तो और 2 digit तक ही हमें लिमिट करना पड़ेगा प्राइम नंबर्स को. इसके बाहर स्कोप नहीं है क्वेश्चंस को फ्रेम करने का CSAT लेवल पे. So 13, the reverse of this is 31, both are prime. 37, the reverse is 73, both are prime. 79, the reverse is 97, both are prime. Moving on. Okay. So now we are starting with questions. I would request pause this video now. Go back to the portal, start with the practice sheet 1 of prime numbers. All of these questions are already uploaded. Set a timer and start with the questions. देखो आप कितना solve कर पा रहे हो, and you can always come back and start with the solution discussion. This much of concept, whatever we have discussed, is enough to get you through these things. Chalo. Starting with the first question. The number of prime numbers which are less than 100. So up to 100 we know 1 to 50. There are 15 prime numbers. 51 to 100. There are 10 prime numbers. A total of 25 prime numbers. Option B, very factual question. And these are all previously asked question in few examinations. तो ये question मैंने नहीं frame करे. These are all been asked previously. M is the number of prime numbers between 0 to 50. I know the value for M has to be 15. N is the number of prime numbers between 50 to 100. So N has to be 10. What is M minus N? M minus N is 5. Option B. Consider the following statement in respect to two integers P and Q, both greater than 1. What are integers? एक बार ही बता रहा हूँ, ध्यान रखना. Integers are positive, negative and a 0. Positive number line, negative number line, up to infinity, negative infinity to positive infinity. Can I say 1.5 is an integer? No. All these values are integers. Point में नहीं आएगा, decimal नहीं होगा. ठीक है? And since they mention that both are greater than 1, so I'm looking at positive integers, or I can call this sentence integers greater than 1 is basically natural numbers. In other words, which are relatively prime. Okay, so these are set of co-prime numbers or relatively prime numbers. Both B and Q may be prime numbers. Yes. P और P Q अगर दोनों ही prime है तो वो relatively prime ज़रूर होंगे. This is absolutely true. You know the concept. Both P and Q may be composite numbers. Yes. Composite रखने पे आएगा क्या? Yes. अगर मैं एक composite number 4 रख दूँ, दूसरा 9 रख दूँ, this is also a set of co-prime numbers or relatively prime numbers. One of P and Q may be prime and other composite. Yes. Prime और composite भी मैं रख सकता हूँ. I can keep this as 2. I can keep the composite number as 9. Done. So which of the following statements are correct? All of these statements are correct. 1, 2 and 3 based on the concepts of co-prime or relatively prime numbers. You already know the definition for it. Moving on. देखते next क्या है. All odd prime numbers up to 110. Odd prime numbers का prime numbers है 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19 and so on. Odd बोला जा रहा है. I cannot consider 2, but I can consider any of the other numbers. When they are multiplied, what is the unit digit? The unit digit, can it be a 0? No. 0 के लिए I need a minimum pair of 5 and 2 in product form. 2 तो है ही नहीं और कोई इवन नंबर है भी नहीं, तो यार ये 0 तो नहीं हो सकता. 5 का एक रूल है कि when you multiply odd numbers with 5, the unit digit is always 5. You can check for yourself. 5 into 3 is 15. Into 7 will give me 35, which is again 5. Into 11 will give me 55, which is again 5. The last digit. Only focus on the last digit or the unit digit. The unit digit will always be 5. We have ruled out 0. The correct answer is 5. But यहाँ पे अगर बोलता कि all prime numbers up to 110, it means I have to consider 2. और जैसे मैंने 2 को कंसिडर करा, 2 into 5 होके I'll get a 0. और 0 की प्रॉपर्टी ये है, in product form it will always be the last value. or the rightmost digit. Here we don't have a 2, therefore we have a 5 because another property of 5. This has been asked in the year 2025 as well. Moving on. A 2-digit prime number contains the digit d at unit place. How many such digits of d are possible? Okay. So if I start with 2-digit prime numbers, it is 11, then we have a 13, then we have 17 and 19. नेक्स्ट आएगा 23 एंड 29 एंड सो ऑन, ऐसे आगे बढ़ेंगे. आप मुझे सोच के बताओ, इफ़ वी आर लुकिंग एट दिस डिजिट, दिस कुड बी 1 3 7 9. कैन इट बी एनी ऑफ द इवन वैल्यूज? क्या ये लास्ट डिजिट 2 4 6 8 हो सकता है? नो. In that case, it becomes an even number. An even number is not a prime number. The only even prime number is 2. वो तो single digit है. So any of these values are not possible. Can I put a 5 here in any case? No. If I put a 5, it will become a multiple of 5. Therefore, it will no longer be a prime number. So 5 is also not possible. The only sets of possible values are 1, 3, 7 and 9. So 4 sets of how many such digits of d are possible? 4 such values are possible. No matter, see, we are limiting ourselves to 2-digit values. Even if you go forward up to 7-digit prime numbers, or let's say, जैसे 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1, a 10-digit number, this is a prime number. Or 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 1, this is also a prime number. There is very interesting things that we can learn from prime numbers, but we have to limit ourselves to the CSAT portion. Okay, moving ahead. Which of the following statement is not true? The difference of 2 prime both greater than 2 is divisible by 2. Greater than 2 का मतलब है we are not considering 2, so we can consider 3 5 7 11 13 and any of these numbers. So in short, we can only consider odd prime numbers. The difference between any two odd numbers, कोई भी एक odd number है, next odd number पे जाने के लिए आपको minimum 2 के gap पे जाना पड़ेगा. कोई भी एक odd number बोलो, leave prime numbers, pick any odd number, let's say 15. Next odd number is 17 with a gap of 2. Next odd number is 19 with again a gap of 2. So these odd or even numbers are always at a gap of 2 or multiples of 2. So if you take a difference between any of these numbers, between any two odd numbers, it will always be a even value or at least a minimum gap of 2. तो क्या वो 2 से divisible होगा? Yes, because the difference between two prime numbers both greater than 2 means both are odd. Odd minus odd is always even. Even divided by 2. Yes, this is true. पूछा है which one is not true, तो ये तो नहीं हो सकता. This is a true statement. मैं true लिख देता हूँ. Okay. For two different integers m and n and a prime number p, if p divides the product m and n, p अगर इसको डिवाइड कर रहा है मतलब p पूरी तरीके से कैंसिल आउट हो रहा है, या तो m से या तो n से, then p divides either m or n. Yes, definitely 100% p has to divide either m और n. डिवाइड करना मतलब ये पूरी तरीके से यहाँ से कैंसिल आउट हो जाए. दिस स्टेटमेंट इज ऑल्सो ट्रू. नाउ इफ अ नंबर इज ऑफ द फॉर्म 6n minus 1 and being a natural number, then it is a prime number. Is it always a prime number? हमने डिस्कस किया था ना कि yes, prime numbers are of the form 6n plus minus 1. But any number of the form 6n plus minus 1, will that be a prime number? No. So this is not true. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे चेक कर लो, क्या बोल रहा है? 6n minus 1 वेयर n इज़ अ नेचुरल नंबर. 1 रखो n की वैल्यू. 6 minus 1 5, ये प्राइम नंबर है, अग्री. बट वॉट अबाउट इफ आई पुट 6 into 6 minus 1? दिस इज 36 minus 1 35. इज दिस अ प्राइम नंबर? नो. तो ये बोलना इट इज़ अ प्राइम नंबर ऑलवेज, इज दिस ट्रू? नो. तो दिस इज नॉट ट्रू और यही पूछा था. दिस इज आवर करेक्ट आंसर. बट लेट्स लुक एट द नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट एज वेल. There is only one set of 3 prime numbers such that there is a gap of 2 between two adjacent prime numbers. Prime number 1, prime number 2, prime number 3. There is a gap of 2 between two adjacent. इसका ये मतलब है if I take the gap between P and Q or Q and R, the gap has to be 2. ऐसा होता है क्या? क्या ऐसा सिर्फ एक बार पॉसिबल है? Yes. And where is it possible? With 3, 5 and 7. We cannot get any other value simply because ये जो गैप है ये सिर्फ यहाँ पे रहेगा. 5 इसके बाद और कहीं पे नहीं आ सकता है. ये हमने इनिशियली भी डिस्कस किया कॉन्सेप्ट पे. सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज ऑल्सो ट्रू. ऑप्शन सी इज आवर करेक्ट आंसर. मूविंग अहेड. The sum of three prime numbers P plus Q plus R is 38. So P, Q plus R is 38. What could be the maximum value of P? P को मुझे maximize करना है. Okay. तो I'll start with these two as the minimum prime numbers. मुझे अगर इसको maximize करना है तो I need to reduce the values for Q and R. So let's suppose I take R as the smallest value. Smallest prime number क्या है? 2. Now P plus Q is equal to 38 minus 2 which is 36. बस आप ऐसा देखो कि मुझे तो इसको मैक्सिमाइज करना है तो I'll have to keep this as a smaller number. If I put 3 तो P becomes 36 minus 3 which is 33. Is P a prime number? No. So we cannot pick 3. Next P plus Q should be 36. Next smaller number क्या होगा after 3? Prime number 5. If I put this as 5, 36 minus 5 is 31. P की value अगर 31 है, yes, this is also a prime number. So now we get the set of P plus Q plus R is 38. In that case, the maximum possible value for P is 31 and Q and R could be alternatively 2 and 5 और 5 and 2. कुछ भी हो जाए, ये हमेशा 31 रहेगा मैक्सिमम पे अगर पूछा है. अगर मिनिमम पूछता, यू नो इट शुड बी 2. व्हाट इज द मिनिमम पॉसिबल वैल्यू फॉर एनी ऑफ दीज प्राइम नंबर्स? इट कुड बी 2. मूविंग ऑन. P, Q and R are prime numbers such that P is lesser than Q, Q is lesser than R and R is lesser than 13. Less than 13 का क्या मतलब है? Can we take 13? No. So we can take 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11. P, Q and R could be any of these values. इसके बाहर नहीं. This is our scope, limited. Now, P plus Q plus R, in how many cases will this also be a prime number? Check करते हैं. If you remember the rule for 2, so 2 and 3 were added, then 2, 3, 5, 7 were added, then 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11 and 13 were added. So always 2 pairs. तो 2 के साथ 3 numbers का नहीं बनता, ये ध्यान रखना. तो मैं I can rule out 2. So I'll start with 3. 3, 5, 7 बन रहा है क्या? 5 and this is 8, 8 plus 20 नहीं बन रहा है. 3 plus 5 plus 11 बन रहा है क्या? Yes. This is 8, 8 and 11 is 19. Bingo. So 3, 5 and 11. This is 19. First case. First, okay. देखते हैं. Next, can we take 3, 7 and 11? 3 and 7 is 10, 10 and 11 is 21, no? Then can we start with 5 if you remember? 5, 7 and 11, yes. 5, 7 and 11, we get 23. This is also a prime. Can we get any other value? So we have tried all the possible combination. देखो 2 को तो रखना भी नहीं, 3 numbers है तो इनमें से we have tried all the possibilities. So only 2 cases are possible. With a little bit of effort, you can definitely crack these type of problems. बहुत डिफिकल्ट में से तो मैं इसको नहीं बोलूँगा, एंड दिस इज एग्जैक्टली अ प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन। चलो नेक्स्ट, कंसिडर द पेयर्स ऑफ प्राइम नंबर्स m and n बिटवीन 50 and 100। ओके, कितने नंबर्स होंगे 50 and 100 के बीच में? प्राइम नंबर्स 10, m minus n जहाँ पे 6 आना चाहिए। ओके, so what are these numbers? Let's start quickly. 53 is the first number, then we have 59, 61 भी होगा, yes, 63 तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, 67, yes, 69 no, then 71 yes, 73 yes, 79 yes, 81 no, 83 yes, 89 yes, then 97. Let's count 1 2 4, चलो 10 हो गए, क्लियर है। अब देखते हैं m और n के बीच का डिफरेंस 6 होना चाहिए। दिस इज 6, दिस इज ऑल्सो 6, दिस इज ऑल्सो 6, दिस इज ऑल्सो 6, स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड। 4 तो मेरा आंसर आ गया, बट आई कैन सी 5 and a 6 ऑलवेज। तो क्या कुछ और बन सकता है? these two no, these two no, these two yes, 67 and 73, this is also possible, then 79 and 83 no, these two no, these two no, 5 is our correct answer. तो इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट कि यू मेमोराइज दीज थिंग्स, और मेमोराइज ना भी करो तो एटलीस्ट विथ फ्यू सेट्स ऑफ वैल्यूज़ आपको ये चीज़ें ध्यान में बैठ जाएंगी। जैसे आई विल नॉट बी लुकिंग एट एनी ऑफ द इवन वैल्यूज़, जिसका लास्ट डिजिट इवन है आई कैन रूल देम आउट, जिसका लास्ट डिजिट 5 है आई कैन रूल देम आउट सिंपली। एंड हियर सिंस वी आर लुकिंग एट मल्टीपल्स ऑफ 3, तो 6 is already a multiple of 3, so I cannot take 3 or a 9, ruled out, and I can only pick 1 3 7 or 9 as the last digits. तो मुझे सिर्फ 4 वैल्यूज़ पे चेक करना है। For 9 again, 9 becomes a multiple of 3, so I cannot take 3 or a 9. 91 is 13 into 7, so I cannot take 91 as well. So this is doable. ये भी moderate level पे, difficult तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। Now next, interesting problem. an is actually equal to pn plus 1, where pn is the product of first n natural numbers. If you remember the concept regarding product said one thing, that मैं बस इसको ऐसे ही डिस्कस कर ले रहा हूँ, इस क्वेश्चन से उसका लेना देना नहीं है कि प्रोडक्ट ऑफ फर्स्ट n प्राइम नंबर्स प्लस 1 इज ऑल्सो अ प्राइम नंबर, बट ओनली टिल n बीइंग इक्वल टू 1 to 5। कि अगर आपने प्रोडक्ट लिया फर्स्ट n प्राइम नंबर्स का, उस पर 1 ऐड करा तो वो भी एक प्राइम नंबर होगा, बट वी लिमिट आवर सेल्स टू n बीइंग 5, 1 to 5। यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहा है कि मैंने प्रोडक्ट लिया, उस पर +1 करा, ये an की वैल्यू हो गई, उसके बाद ये स्टेटमेंट्स हैं। ओके, सो वॉट एवर वी टेक वी हैव टू स्टार्ट विथ 2, देन 3, देन 5, देन 7, देन 11, और भी आगे तक जा सकता है। आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी n, व्हाट इज़ द वैल्यू फॉर n कुड बी 10 एज वेल, बट एज सून एज आई डू द प्रोडक्ट, तो मैं एक इवन नंबर और एनी ऑफ द ऑड नंबर्स को मल्टीप्लाई करूँगा। इवन नंबर को अगर आपने किसी भी नंबर के साथ मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया तो उसका रिजल्ट तो इवन ही आएगा, बिकॉज यू आर हैविंग अ मल्टीपल ऑफ 2 हियर। 2 into 3 is basically a multiple of 2. 2 into 3 into 5 is also a multiple of 2. तो इसका जो रिजल्ट आएगा Pn का, ये हमेशा एक इवन नंबर होगा, और उस इवन नंबर पे अगर मैं 1 ऐड करूँ, इवन प्लस 1 इज ऑड। So an is actually an odd number. Pn is even. Pn plus 1 is an. So an क्या है? An is an odd value. Okay. An is always a composite number. ऐसा है क्या? नहीं यार, इनिशियली तो ये सारे प्राइम नंबर्स हैं। हाँ, 6 के बाद 6 ऑनवर्ड्स ये इवन हो जाए, ये कॉम्पोजिट हो जाएगा। an is basically 2 into 3 pn plus 1, 7 is a prime number। तो ये बोला इट इज ऑलवेज अ कॉम्पोजिट नंबर, ये गलत हो गया। इट विल बी अ कॉम्पोजिट नंबर व्हेन वी टेक n as 6, मतलब 2 × 3 × 5 × 7 × 11 × 13 अगर मैं करूँ +1 करूँ, इसका जो रिजल्ट आएगा वो एक कॉम्पोजिट नंबर होगा, जैसा हमने कॉन्सेप्ट में भी डिस्कस किया है। तो एन इज ऑलवेज अ कॉम्पोजिट नंबर, दिस इज रूल्ड आउट। और अगर मुझे मान लो ये भी नहीं पता है, कैन आई यूज सिंपल लॉजिक कि दीज आर द प्राइम नंबर्स। 2 × 3 = 6, 6 + 1 = 7। यहाँ पे बोला है ऑलवेज, कैन भी बोला रहता तो फिर ये लॉजिक काम नहीं करता। ऑलवेज बोला है ना, अगर क्रॉस आ गया तो बस काम बन गया, आगे बढ़ो। an+2, an is odd, odd + 2 is also an odd number. Yes, any odd number +2 is also an odd number. Yes, odd number +1 is an even number. Yes, so which of the following are correct? 2 and 3 are absolutely correct. Moving on to the last question. Okay, let's see. Let x and y be positive integers. Integers, you already know, positive integers are basically natural numbers, such that x is prime and y is composite. All right, which of the following are correct? y minus x can be, देखो ऑलवेज नहीं बोला, कैन भी बोला है। कैन के साथ एक ईजियर एंड पे सोल्यूशन ये होता है कि वॉट एवर इट सेज, इफ यू गेट एटलीस्ट 1 tick देन इट इज ट्रू। इवन इफ वी गेट रॉन्ग इन मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस, एटलीस्ट 1 tick जो बोल रहा है वो हो गया, तो बस आगे बढ़ जाओ, आगे चेक मत करो, just move forward. Now, y minus x, composite minus x is an even integer. I'll take the composite number to be 4, the prime number to be 2. इसका डिफरेंस आया 2. क्या ये एक इवन है? Yes. Can be an even? Yes. X into y can be an even integer. Let's consider the same values. 2 into 4, 8. Yes, even. और मुझे इसके लिए और सिंपल क्या देखना है? इवन इफ आई डोंट टेक वैल्यूज, कैन आई टेक x एंड y, कैन आई कीप एनी ऑफ दिस एज इवन? यस, मैं एक प्राइम नंबर इवन रख सकता हूँ ना। तो प्राइम नंबर के एक इवन नंबर के प्रोडक्ट पे कुछ भी आ जाए वो तो इवन ही होगा। नेक्स्ट, 0.5 of x plus y. 0.5 means 1/2. 0.5 is simply 1/2. 1/2 of x plus y can be an even integer. This can be an even integer if this sum is even. If I consider the same values, this is happening. हो रहा है क्या ऐसा? इवन को अगर आप हाफ करते हो तो क्या आएगा? We'd be getting an odd value. So 1 and 2 is absolutely holding true. Can be के लिए मुझे कुछ और सेट्स के साथ एग्जाम्पल पे ट्राई करना चाहिए। Let's say if I four plus 2, or maybe if I take composite number as 9, 9 plus 2 is 11, 11/2, ये तो पॉइंट में आ रहा है, छोड़ दो। Can we take 9 plus 3 as 12, 12/2, 6? Yes. For some cases it is holding true, for some cases it is not, and we need, can it be possible? Yes, it is possible. यहाँ पे मैंने क्या करा है? 9 is a composite number, which is the value for y. 3 is an even prime number, which is the value for x. This is 12, 12/2, we get 6. 6 is an even integer, so it can be. Yes. Is it always? No. ऑलवेज होता तो क्या रहता है, यहाँ पे तीनों के केस में क्रॉस कर देते हैं। कैन है इसलिए ऑल 3 आर पॉसिबल, 1, 2, 3. आई होप दिस हेल्प्स. You have a clarity regarding prime numbers. Please get in touch if you have any queries. Thank you everyone. Happy learning. Which is available for anyone who's a beginner. If you wish to start now, yes, you can do it. But please get in touch. We'll connect over call, discuss your strategy, your strength, and then we'll decide. Or if you are someone who has been preparing for quite some time, You just need the practice sheets and the full length test, and you just need to be in touch with the current trend. तो आप भी अभी ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. So it is available, the courses are live. आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. In order to join the courses, you can get in touch on this number. Now, what do we offer? We offer video lectures, which is comprised till 90 to 100 hours, the content part, which takes into consideration LR, क्वांटिटिव एप्टीट्यूड एज वेल एज रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन. ये सारी चीज़ें हम कवर कर रहे हैं. प्लस वी प्रोवाइड प्रैक्टिस शीट विच इज़ टॉपिक वाइज बेस्ड ऑन करंट ट्रेंड, most expected questions. Then you have a separate PYQ sheet with video solution. This is also topic wise given. Then the most important part, which is 10 full length test, purely exam pattern based. Then we also provide regular practice sessions, doubt sessions, mentorship plan for anyone who's starting now, and then memory sheet and formula sheet to be in the game. These are our offerings. If you have any query, you want to ask something, you want to clear something, please reach out to me on this number.